Okay, so we're out here today with the Texan. We're going to test our new suppressor that we've installed. As last time, we're going to be using the Air Venturi 166 grain bullets, and we will be testing it both with and without the suppressor at multiple velocities and sound levels. So I have a hobby sound meter. We will be recording the sound in decibels. It has this handy feature where it'll record the max velocity.
Okay, so let me start by saying on this particular day, things really didn't go according to plan. What we had hoped to do was do a velocity test without the suppressor at specified pressures, and then put the suppressor on and see if that, additionally to affecting the sound, also affected the velocity. What ended up happening, we think, is that it was so bright on this particular day that our chronograph kept having errors, and we didn't get any significant velocity data. However, I still got enough information to effectively give you some data on the suppressor itself, or the Shroud. So, over many tests, at the end of the barrel, with and without the suppressor, we found that the volume of this rifle at its current settings are approximately 116 decibels. Now this was quite a surprise, as I'd expected some reduction. So then I moved the sound recording device to the side of the barrel. We saw essentially the same thing. There was a little bit more reduction in sound off to the side with the suppressor. We got it down to about 108. But this wasn't agreeing with what I was experiencing while I was shooting the rifle. So finally, in a last set of tests, I moved the decibel meter right next to where I was sitting, so it could pick up what I was hearing. So when I did this, I found that without the suppressor, it still recorded about 115 or 116 decibels, so it was still essentially just as loud as it was at the muzzle. However, when I installed the suppressor with its baffles, I found that the decibel level had gone down to about 105 decibels. Now, for those of you less familiar with the decibel system and how it works, 10 decibels means that the sound level was reduced by a factor of 2, specifically at the shooter. So to answer some questions from the last video, no, this is not going to be a backyard rifle just because you put this Shroud on it. However, it takes it down to a level where for the shooter, you're not at any significant risk for hearing damage. It was surprisingly quiet to shoot with the suppressor on. From my perspective, I actually could hear the spring inside the gun as it vibrated around after I shot the rifle. So without further ado, let me play the two clips for you of with and without the suppressor so you can hear the difference in the retort.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And naturally, the video would feel incomplete without shooting a couple bottles. So, maybe it's not as effective as we'd hoped, but I still greatly appreciate the sound reduction. Hopefully in a future video I will be able to give you further data on how the suppressor reduces the velocity, but for now, this is what you've got. So as I said earlier, our chronograph wasn't working this day, so I didn't get to do a lot of the testing I'd intended to. But in the near future, we intend to go out again. We're going to do a video on how to tune the Texan power valve. I also intend to chronograph test the Benjamin Pioneer airbow, so stay tuned for those. I've got many other videos planned, but those are the next ones on my list. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a like and subscribe if you want to keep up with this stuff, and have a great day.